Good morning, YouTube. So wet and soggy one this morning, but hey, what can you do, eh? Just gotta get on with it. Right, let's get this beastie out of the shed. Good morning, my lovelies. Tight squeeze. Right. Would be nice just to start my bike up and let it warm up a little bit first, but I do have to think of the neighbours. Although a Benelli is not a particularly loud bike, but it still can't be very nice at 6:30 in the morning with a bike running outside. So I normally try to get going as soon as I can after I start it up. Oh, hands are wet. My little pinky won't go into my glove because my hands are wet and it's caught up in the lining. That's not easy. We'll have a tight squeeze through these gates. Shimmy, shimmy, left, right. There we are. Right, hi ho, hi ho. It's off to work I go. Oh, I'm a postman and I have to be out in this weather all day today. That's crap. Wet and soggy all day. I always short shift come down to the village because, like I said, I don't want to be annoying all my neighbours. There's a guy who lives around the corner from me. I'm not sure what sort of bike he's got, but he just revs and revs and makes sure he lets everybody know when he's leaving and when he's coming back. And I think, oh, what's the point, mate? Come on, you're just annoying people. This road down along here, it's sunk. About a quarter of the road across is just sunk down. And there's a big lip that goes along there that drops down about 2 or 3 inches, so it's I'm always very wary of getting caught up over on that side. When you're on the same road every day, you do sort of know where all these little holes and all these little things to avoid are. Right, home time, long weekend time. It's Friday afternoon now, and I've got tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday and Monday off. Wicked. I was hoping to go out and bike on Sunday morning, go to Super Sausage maybe, but I think the weather forecast is going to be rubbish, so I don't know. If it's chucking down with rain, is it worth getting out? It's okay for commuting and you have to go into work, but do I want to go out just for a little spin, just for the sake of it, if it's chucking down with rain? I'm not sure, I don't know. We'll wait and see how it is anyway. I do love a good big Super Sausage breakfast though. Right. This bike is great for commuting, but it is a little bit wide. There's those crash bars in the front. Do make it a bit wide. You still squeeze into little spots though. Let's go. Hey, lots of rain. Come on people, what we stopped for? This is why I love commuting to work on my motorbike. You can get through traffic so much easier. Yeah, I have to spend a lot of time putting on all my gear, but and even when it's raining like this, I don't care. I've got all waterproof stuff on, I'm nice and snug. I don't really mind. Traffic actually hasn't been too bad today. Some days it's just horrendous getting out of there, and oh, you could just be sitting there for 10-15 minutes just sitting in your car to go, what, quarter of a mile. So what time is it now? 2:45, quarter past 2. Yeah, 2:15. So I'll get home before all the kids get out from school anyway, if my going home time coincides with kicking out time at school. That can often slow me down quite a bit, especially when you're in the car. Yeah, so this Benelli, I've only really used it for commuting since I got it a few weeks ago. So I can't tell you what it's like on a long journey, or a longish journey, anything more than about 45 minutes. That's the longest I've been on it. But going in and out of work, which is about 7 or 8 miles each way, it's absolutely perfect. It's brilliant. Like I just said, it's a little bit wide, but it's not too bad. You still squeeze through the traffic on it. Speed and power isn't really an issue when you're commuting, because there's no the speed limit's just all the way really, so it doesn't really. Let's go past these guys. Oh yeah, you try and jump in front. So there's not really it's not really an issue if you don't have a lot of power. But it's certainly well put together. It seems quite a quality built, well built, good quality. I know a lot of people just always draw to the fact that it's Chinese built, but it's by the by really. I think Chinese are putting out some very good stuff now at the moment, and there's lots more bikes coming out in the market now. This is beginning at 2024 now at the moment, and I think there's a lot of new bikes coming this year from China. So yeah, is it going to be like Japanese bikes a few years back, or well, quite a few years before my time actually, when Japanese bikes first came out? But I know it was just all called Jap crap, and no one would trust them, and no one could take them seriously. But then, yeah, look where they are now. Although I think the Japanese bikes are falling behind a little bit again now. European bikes have really come back in the last decade or so. I think Benelli have sort of well, maybe it's not Benelli or Yonghu or whoever owns the Chinese company that own it. They played it well there. That, you know, like so the bikes are built in China, where production is a bit lower, is not as pricier. Benelli is a well-known brand, an old brand from Italy. So they got the sort of kudos on the name from Benelli, but the being built in China. Whoa, look at those black clouds. In these couple of miles, so I go from, there's a 20, then a 30, then I'm up at a 40 now. That'll be 40 for 100 yards or so, then it changes to a 50. Speed limits are just changing. Every few hundred yards there's a different speed limit. I know we're just coming out of town, but regardless of that, like the big wide open road here, this is 40. I could turn right, so I can go up that little lane there, and I can do 60, but I can only do 40 here. Well, 50 now I can do. Speed limits are crazy. You do have to have your wits about you to sort of to know what speed you're meant to be doing sometimes if you don't know the roads. Yeah, so like I said, this bike is very solid, very secure. It's got a lot of road presence. I really like that. I like the size of it. I like that it has got a bit of road presence. I know I've said it before in other videos and other times, but like being 6'3", you'd be surprised how limited you are to the amount of bikes you can have at that when you're that height. Really, you know, yeah, you can get smaller bikes, of course you can, but they're very uncomfortable and you look silly on them, and so yeah, so it's nice to have a big bike. Big bike and a small engine, I think. Let's wipe that lens a bit. So now we're back to a 20 again now, which is ridiculously slow. So this is trying. I'm going to have to put my feet down riding along at 20. But this bike's got the 500cc 2-cylinder twin engine. It's got a nice little bit of poke to it. It can pull, you know, it'll pull from basically any revs and any gear nearly. It is quite good. I do like that. So it's great for traffic. I don't do any off-road riding or do any trails riding, but the bars are sort of quite high and quite far back on this, so I'd imagine so like I can stand there, yeah, quite comfortably. I could imagine that, you know, if you're doing just a little bit of trials riding, you could ride along standing quite easily. I'm not sort of crouched forward, so for somebody quite tall, stood up on a bike with bars down lower or further away, you're hunched over and it's not a really comfortable position. But yeah, standing up on this is it's quite okay. And not just off-roading as well, that, you know, but when on a long journey or something that, you know, you start to get numb bum, it's nice to be able to just stand up a little bit then as well, that, you know, just to give your bum a rest for a while. So yeah, I could do that on this quite easily, I think. I've got an indicator gone as well. I know it's LED indicators on this, so I don't think it's a bulb. It wouldn't be a bulb gone, but there's obviously a loose wire. They're aftermarket as well, so there's a loose wire somewhere. So I think the indicator on the back isn't working, so that's something I'm going to have to sort out. That'll probably only take a couple of minutes, but it's just a hassle of doing it, really, isn't it? So much standing water just in this part of the road as well. It's not too bad now at the moment because it's only drizzling, but I see along here, oh, that's standing water just here. Right, let's see how this is like at a bit faster speed. Here she goes quite well. You do have to thrash it a little bit, I think, though, but the problem is when I'm just leaving work and I've got a 15-20 minute ride home, if the engine is fully warmed up, you don't really want to be thrashing it, because like just doing, you know, getting up to a fast speed, you are using a lot of the capacity of the engine, whereas on a bigger bike you're not really using so much of the capacity of the engine, so you're not thrashing it as much. But this is a dangerous junction because I know you can just go charging around that corner. I know I do it myself sometimes, and there's people turning across the road in front of you into the junction. Oh, 20 again. You can just about squeeze through there.